Eddie, were you on pins and needles waiting, like anticipating this film coming? A lot of people I knew were so excited to see it because it almost didn't happen. We almost didn't get it because it almost got canned after Solo.
Yes, I was super pumped for this. And I think we even have alluded to it multiple times here leading up to this as it got confirmed or filming and the first trailers. I think we've touched on it here all along the way. I always have liked the Obi-Wan character, even in the original series, that I can remember just connecting and resonating just kind of with that, the old man, wise counselor type of role. And then love Ewan McGregor. And I think there's like just a resounding agreement of he was probably the best part of all of the prequels.
Yes.
There's not too much to hold up there when you remember some of Hayden Christensen's performances there.
Natalie Portman was good.
Natalie Portman was good. She had some good one.
Ewan McGregor, he's the everybody can disagree. Let's just all agree he was a perfect Obi-Wan. Yep. Okay. Good.
Let's move on.
Yep.
So I was really excited for this, and was eagerly anticipating it.
So was I because of being burned so often, and then most recently by the Boba Fett series for the majority of everything Boba Fett related, and that I was very cautious going into this. I was scared. Are they going to ruin this character for me? I didn't think they would ruin the character. I was just worried about where it was going to go, what we were going to cover. Was I ever going to see really awesome Obi-Wan? Like, was I going to get that, or was I going to have to deal with them doing the Rian Johnson? We're like, what's the one thing we want you to do? We want all the fans want you to do
the opposite. Let's do the opposite.
Let's do the complete opposite of that.
Let's destroy one of the greatest characters in movie history.
Why can't we just have more people like Top Gun, where they're like, oh, you want to see Tom Cruise fighting in a fighter jet and knocking people out? Oh, we will do the very thing we want you to do. We'll try to do some new stuff in it, try to whatever, but you're really just here for Tom Cruise to be the guy that we want him to be.
Fly some airplanes very fast, and guess what? You're going to make $1 billion if you just give people what they want.
Yep. So that being said, the first 3 episodes scared me.
Terrified me. I'm not going to lie. Might have fallen asleep in the second episode.
Ooh, that was...
I was in JB territory on this one.
Which one did I? Oh yeah, I fell asleep. Was it Boba? It was Boba Fett or something.
I feel like you fall asleep quite a lot in some of these.
There is several that, because you always have to wait till the kids are asleep, and then if you got up that early. True. No, I think it was Boba Fett. I think I actually did fall asleep, or Loki. It might have been, no, it was Loki as well. I did both of them. No, yeah, first 3 episodes. I'm like, guys, I don't want to spend 3 episodes while Obi-Wan finds himself again. I just want us to quickly get in. I don't care that he's riding a train to work.
I was worried in that second episode when they have kind of this weird battle, he and Darth Vader, and he doesn't have any force power hardly at all. I'm like, oh no, this is going to be a repeat.
You're talking about episode 3 with the fire?
Oh, that was episode 3. Yeah, it was episode 3 with the fire and all of that. Yeah, at 3 was where I fell asleep. I fell asleep on 3.
So you missed. That was pretty intense when Vader comes out and he's like snapping everybody's necks left and right. I was just like, oh no, man, they jumped really.
I was awake for that. I remember all of that, but I was a little worried in that moment of like, oh no, we're gonna get a weak Obi-Wan. We're not gonna see.
And basically,
like,
we
this
did.
Is the direction they're going.
We basically got sad. We got sad Obi-Wan for 3 episodes, and by the end of 3, I kind of had a little bit of hope because we got more Vader. But I was like, are we ever gonna get? Am I gonna get enough? Because I've left definitely a lot of series like Moon Knight. I didn't get nearly enough awesome kicking Moon Knight. Half the time we got Moon Knight, or 3/4 the time we got Moon Knight, it was like we got the other guy that doesn't really know what he's doing.
Quick and Yeah. But so for me, this definitely turned around at the 4th episode.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the 4th episode quite a lot, where you're in the Fortress Inquisitorius, the headquarters there. That was
cool.
That was a cool episode. I really, really liked that. And I feel like that was the moment where this started to turn around for me quite a lot.
It was such a cool kind of different underwater, like it's coming out of the ocean, but you're still getting that green, like tint water underneath everything. And I just love the energy of that space.
Yes.
The callbacks to previous films. So Film Crush was talking a lot about, or no, Screen Rant. I forget. Ryan Airy, I love you. You do the 30,000 Easter eggs in every film. Screen Crush. There we go. I knew it'd come to me. There we go. Screen Crush. He talked about how each one of these films mirrors the original. All the 6 films, including the prequels and the originals, and how there's like competing. So like even when he's kind of like misdirection using the Force, it mirrors what Obi-Wan does in episode 4. Those are like mirror images of each other. Some of the things that come up were episode 5, and the people are stuck in the bunker, just like they were stuck in the bunker in Hoth. There's a lot of callbacks between several of these films. The fact that they're going to saving Leia again, which we should talk more about, like her. But yes, episode 4, when he like holds the water back and he's had the fight inside that tunnel, I'm like, okay, I finally have hope that we're going to see awesome Obi-Wan.
Yeah, and you've definitely get this nice turnaround in 5, and then definitely in 6, where we just see, here we go. Here's the Obi-Wan that we've wanted to see. I don't know if you saw Story by Andrew Stanton had a heavy role in 5 and 6 in the story, which was interesting. He keeps popping up in different things like Stranger Things and this. I got to bring this up here. I think the biggest thing that I am disappointed in all of this, again, I'm going to kind of come back to some of the things that we said with Moon Knight. The series is called Obi-Wan Kenobi. I wanted more Obi-Wan. I just wanted more Obi-Wan. And nothing against the actress, but I thought Reva was just a really weird part. It wasn't a well-written character. It was just so one-dimensional. And I didn't want it.
Yep.
I just never found myself caring. And I know like they really tried to make it like, oh, you know, you're feeling what she's feeling and emotional flashbacks and everything. And I'm like,
nope.
I'm not. I came for Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you're spending a good 25% on this new character none of us have really ever heard of, and trying to make us care about her in 6 episodes. Can it? Give me 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes of Obi-Wan in the desert training with his lightsaber or something like that. Like, that's what I wanted. I don't want this. Did you feel this? It just felt so forced. It felt forced. I 100% agree with you. Episode 1, I was like, she is not a good bad guy. She's supposed to be the bad guy in this film, and she's not. And so then when we're in episode 5 and we get the turn, we'd always kind of like figured, I think she's from that opening sequence. Like she's probably one of them. So the turn of it, oh, this is all a long con to get Darth Vader. I was like, it actually clicked in my head. It was like, this actually, it doesn't work, but it makes more sense because she's never been a good bad guy because she was never a bad guy. Right. She was always trying to just get vengeance and justice on Vader, but she could never fully embrace being a bad guy. It made more sense. It didn't necessarily help me feel like great about her,
And in the final episode, I'm like, what are you even doing? Why are you going after Luke? There was no like explanation of like what the desire was. It's like, how is this going to help you get Vader? Or is it you're just coming for Luke because it's Obi-Wan's in charge and he's the reason that you're in here? And why was she going after Luke in that last episode? Other than she was just deranged.
The whole sequence didn't make any sense. It was not even tense. Like, it didn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like, I think they were trying to build tension and just kind of build up the ending even bigger. But it was so weird and bizarre that it lost it for me. It dissipated some of the tension that was built.
It definitely didn't make much sense at all. I didn't know why she was there. I didn't know what was driving her. Is like, well, if I can't kill Vader, at least I'll kill Obi-Wan, the one thing he's about, because there's no way she can know that this is Vader's child. So, and we still like.
Well, she reads. Well, she knows that it's Vader's child because she reads the hologram message.
But they didn't like say this is
his child.
Yeah. They just said that the boy. The boy with Owen, with the boy with Owen, that you're supposed to be like taking care of. So
it was forced.
It wasn't.
I wanted more Obi-Wan, and I wanted more. More Vader. I was pleasantly surprised. Like, I liked the training sequence that they added with Ewan and Hayden. You know, flashing back.
Could have made Hayden a little bit younger, but. Whatever.
A little bit, but it worked, especially for a Disney Plus series. I think they knew that this didn't hit exactly what they wanted. That's why they released half the series right up front. Because you had the first 2 episodes dropped on a Friday, and then the third episodes dropped on a Wednesday, and then we had the next.
It was 3. A short time, but
yeah. But it was good. I enjoyed it. That final lightsaber battle between Vader and Obi-Wan, and that line where they cut half of his mask off, man. And you see his face coming through it all. There we go, everybody. That is what I wanted in this series.
The blue and the red, like goes blue when he's good, then red when he's given himself over. And that line, like, you never failed me. Oh, it's like, and now the Obi-Wan just like admit, okay, his friend is completely dead. He's gone now. Mm-hmm. And just his realization, it kind of sets up more of his moody character in the rest of the original
in New Hope,
trilogy. Yeah,
and what he says to like, I once knew your father, and this is the man who killed your father. All of those things.
I'm sure you, like every other person that I've talked to, have watched this. Every single person said the line without when Obi-Wan is down in the pit and Vader's over top of him. Everybody I know has said the same thing. That the line didn't happen, but everybody was like, I can imagine. We were expecting Vader to say, "Who has the high ground now?"
Exactly. I was waiting for it. I actually said it out loud while we were watching it.
100%. I did too. I was like, "Who has the high ground?
Who has the high ground now?"
And I think they just knew. I bet you it was there, and they were just like, "Everybody's gonna say it in unison. Let's just cut it. Let's just leave that moment for everybody, all the fans, to say it." It was amazing.
I mean, so the lightsaber battle between the two of them in Revenge of the Sith,
still the best. It's
Where does this rank? Is there anything that takes second place over this one?
There's been some good ones in the newer trilogy. Like some of the stuff when Rey and honestly, yes, a lot of the ones in the newer trilogy, because that's when the first time they really had actual color, like reflections on people. Like if you look some of the old ones, it's because all of it was in post, so you don't get the natural. But some of that stuff is like great, like when Rey and him have their first fight. Although she does learn how to fight with a lightsaber really quickly. But even in the last one, there was. But no, there isn't another There isn't another fight sequence as good as Return of the Sith.
I think why
whatever.
Revenge of the Sith.
There we go.
I think what is so good about their two battles, the Revenge of the Sith and now this one in Obi-Wan Kenobi, is that it is not just a battle of lightsaber and skill, which it is, and it's amazing, but it's also a battle of character.
Yep.
You see two very complex, well played out characters, and there's this tension of the characters as well. And the lightsabers just happen to be the mechanism of which character. Maybe I'm reluctant to say that this is the Obi-Wan gets second place. Probably for me, the second place one is the one from Return of the Jedi when Luke and Vader are fighting. And for a very similar reason, right? It's not so much about the skills and the amazing technology of the lightsaber, because they're so much more restricted in that one. But it's the tension of the characters, and you feel this. And that one in particular, I just remember as a kid loving it so much just because of the drama built through all of that. And I think that's why I liked this one so much, is that they did a really good job of giving us those beats, those breathers, and they would have a character moment.
Yep. The rocks. I mean,
the rocks.
That was incredible.
Obi-Wan pretty much loses, and he has to find his strength again in the midst of all of that. And then he has this epic comeback where you're like, there we go. There's the Obi-Wan that we've been waiting for. And that final moment in that battle with Hayden Christensen, that was so good. That was so epic. So well done.
Pivoting a little bit, we need to talk about Leia. Did not see Leia coming in this because they had we had seen a little bit of Luke, like him looking through the binoculars at Luke. Was not expecting a turn where we're actually getting little Leia. And were you excited about that? Were you pleased with it?
So my initial reaction was like, oh, cool. I like this. Mm-hmm. This is fun.
Yep.
There was a few moments where the little girl just kind of annoyed me a bit.
Yes.
And then she kind of warmed up to me because I'm like, okay, well, this is Leia. She is kind of that feisty princess. So this makes sense where this is coming from. It's just not an annoying little kid. So I had that little bit of journey. But by the end, when she comes out, her final moment with Obi-Wan there when he lands, that was so cute and adorable. And just okay, this was a great direction to take this, to give him this adventure with Leia.
The worst part of I loved her by the end of it. I was like, yes, I want all the good things for you in this world. Yes. The worst part of it though was the first episode, when for 2 episodes nobody can catch this little girl who's not even that athletic. It's not like she's some little really spry and jump over here. She's just running a normal speed and stuff and not going very quickly. And everybody acts like they've never had to ever stoop down and catch a little girl before or a little kid before. And they're like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, no, you're running all around.
Is this because you and I are pretty well skilled at it now?
We are really skilled at it. But it looks awkward. They're not even trying, because it's almost like they took, I'm closer here than I thought.
There's some Three Stooges moments, where they're falling over themselves to catch them. Or I'm like, this is weird. This is odd.
Yeah, but even Obi-Wan, same issue on the planet. He can't really figure it out either. I don't know why they had to. I don't know if it was just bad editing or they literally had nothing to go off of. They should have. I don't know what they should have done, but it was bad. Anytime someone trying to catch this little girl, they just were so inept at it.
Yeah. What did you think about the ending, the very final little moment there? Teased throughout.
Yes. Well, this movie had so many little endings where I thought it was done, then it wasn't. And then it's like, oh, now we get Leia's ending. And now we get
We're like, did Peter Jackson come and direct this one?
That's a great comp. That's a great comp for this. This is the sailing away at the end, and then this goodbye to Bilbo, and then blah blah blah. And so then you get the hello there. We're waiting the entire thing for him to say hello there.
Hello there.
He said hello, but he didn't say hello there. So he says that to Luke. That was great. And then I think I'm done. I'm emotionally done with this film. I think it's going to hard cut to black. And then we get Qui-Gon finally. We had to get it. If we would have ended it without that, I've been like, well, then why didn't we never paid off the Qui-Gon? So that was cool. And it also kind of set up like, where are they going? What's going to be season 2? Cross our fingers.
Do you think they'll do a season 2?
All signs I've seen is that the cast wants to be a part of this. Ewan McGregor still wants to do this. I think they've ushered it into this can totally head off into him and Qui-Gon can go have their own stuff. We have fully capable Obi-Wan now. So he can actually go spend a whole series being awesome like he was in the Clone Wars series, the animated series. I've got high hopes. And I was glad they paid it off and didn't just like him try to communicate with them the entire series and then all of a sudden, just kidding.
I'd be up for that. I'd be up for just give me a full-on Obi-Wan series.
Maybe, you know what'd be awesome is if they went and fought Darth Maul again. I don't think that's part of any other piece of canon or any other series, but
Darth Maul is back. Yeah, he's in the Clone Wars, so that would make sense. I like that. Let's pitch that.
We're going to call them right now and tell them that they need to go do this.
And I hope if they do a second season, again, the Reva character, I understand what they're trying to do there. It just...
No.
That's not what we're signing up for. This is a trip down nostalgia lane, right?
It was like
you said,
can you move over a little bit so I can get back to Darth Vader? And like, it should have been mostly Darth Vader versus Obi-Wan. That should, like, the moment he comes on screen in end of episode 2 and he's alive, then we should have had nobody else. We didn't need anybody else.
Whoever is the screenwriter behind Top Gun Maverick needs to give a lesson in Hollywood to everybody else. Like, this is how you introduce new characters.
This is how you do sequels.
Introduce new characters without taking away from the main character. That why we're all coming back for this.
100%. We got to call out anytime there's a West Wing character. We have to call that out. That we are contractually obligated to do that. So we get Jimmy Schmitz here in the West Wing. Love
Santos.
Team Santos.
Team Santos. And then the guy who plays the fake Jedi, Kumai.
Nyanji. Kamal Nyanji. Did you like it? Did you like what he did with that?
I was really I liked it when he was playing the Khan, the fake Jedi. But then as soon as he turned into like a sincere guy, I was like, this feels weird. This feels forced.
Someone said it didn't feel like Star Wars. It felt like he was playing a bit. And I kind of felt that too, where I was like, this doesn't feel like what I would expect. Like somebody, it was like it was too, I'm having a hard time putting words to it, but it felt like he knew the joke he was playing a joke. And it was like, I want you to, like, the awesome thing about Star Wars is people are bought into the world. Like, they're fully embracing it. And this felt like, I'm going to do a bit in a Star Wars film. I'm going to be a fake Jedi. And I wanted a little bit more like, not serious. Serious isn't the right word because people are still funny in Star Wars, but they aren't self-aware. That's the word I was looking for. He was too self-aware that he was playing a bit right there. And you're right. He didn't be when he resolved like, oh, I'm actually going to do the right thing. Basically, ever since episode 2, he was kind of like, you're here, I guess.
I was shocked that they kept bringing him back. Like, I would have been fine if he was just this kind of almost like cameo moment as the fake Jedi and then don't bring him back anymore. But there we are. Do we rate these? I can't remember. I always forget.
I don't think we do, mostly because we don't put them in our Pantheon, but in our giant list of all the movies we're covering right now. Unless you feel really strongly compelled to rank this.
I do not. My last word here is this. This was a classic example of I got a little too excited, a little overexcited, and I don't think all of my expectations were met. It was still a really good series, and I was excited for it. I think I will go back and rewatch that final episode.
Yes, I need to. That's what I want to go back and watch I want to fully appreciate. I wish I could make I might do that, Eddie. I might make a super cut of this. We just cut out all the Reva and Luke stuff, and let's just watch the back and forth between Luke and Vader.
I feel an episode of Edit with JB coming up.
It's great. Well, I have revamped it. So if you want to learn how to do editing, I've revamped my YouTube channel. So
I know because I subscribe to your YouTube.
So you got my new video, my first video, back in the saddle
with the crop right over the eye. It was Borg-like. It was great.
It was great. So any final words? Any parting wishes you have for Obi-Wan season 1? Obi-Wan Kenobi season 1.
Give me a second season.
I'm ready for a second season. What was great was some of these series, they don't leave me wanting more. There's been a lot of them that haven't, or I've been like, that was the perfect amount. Like the one we got in
Winter Soldier,
the one we got in Christmas time. Hawkeye was like, that was the right amount. Okay, I'm good. Yep. I'm moved on.
Stay there. No more.
Hawkeye, other ones, they spent low-key, they wore out their welcome. It was like, I'm not into this anymore. Moon Knight, sad about the ending. I wanted more and they didn't give me. This felt, yes, it was good. It ended on a high note and I want more. I'm not like moving on.
Yeah,
so.
Book of Boba Fett. I don't want any more. Mandalorian, yes, give me more. I want more Mandalorian.
Yes, Mandalorian, that's an outlier. I kind of put Mandalorian because it was like the first thing that they came out with. It is its own. It feels very much like its own thing, which I love. Yeah. And season 3 that's coming out in early next year, or is it end of this year? I forget the time.
Early next year. It's going to be March of 23.
Man,
got a long way.
We got a lot of good stuff ahead. A lot of good Star Wars stuff ahead of us. Just seeing all the teasers of stuff that may or may not be happening. Who knows? Maybe we'll get some Kevin Feige going to do something. It's mostly rumors and speculation, but
I have low expectations for Kathleen Kennedy.
No, this is not a Kathleen Kennedy stan podcast. That is
Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. Now, on the other hand,
this is all love for them here.
Just give them the podcast. Whole Lucasfilm organization, just as a birthday present to all of us. Just give it to them.